watermelons. Some of the leaves have gotten almost to finger size, not much bigger, smaller than last year, but I have more watermelons than I did last year. You can see some are a dark green. Here's a light green. Here's a striped. All of this came from one planting of about 5 plants in the same spot. All of the plants were planted right about here. And you can see I have a pepper plant here also. It came up in the same pot, so I transplanted it close. You can actually see that the roots of the watermelon all go in right about here. So what I do is I put grass clippings right around. I want to give the stems some air. I don't want the stems themselves to rot, but I want the ground right at this root area to stay moist. Then I don't have to worry about watering all this area that's below the watermelon, because the watermelon's actually drawing the water only from this root area. That's another reason to plant this pepper here, is it marks for me exactly where the roots of the watermelon are. I can water this area really well and not have to worry about watering all this area. Last year we planted it and the watermelons migrated into the lawn, and that made it really hard to mow. So this year I put it over here in area 3 underneath the walnut tree. It doesn't get a lot of sun, and that's why the leaves are smaller. But it also doesn't dry out, so it has set more watermelons. So you can see right now there's very few blooms. There's one right here. Here we have a male bloom. And actually this one here too, that's open, is a male. The female blooms look the same on the inside, but you can see this one here is a female because it's got a little teeny watermelon right under the bloom. So that's a female. It will turn into a watermelon if it gets fertilized. You can see down here I actually have one here and another one down here. So I have quite a few little watermelons starting. And behind it, another bigger one, about the size of a ping pong ball. So this looks like it's going to give me a lot of watermelons. I need to make sure that I keep it well watered just in that area near the roots. I have gotten bowling ball sized watermelons in the past. This was not one of those years. The watermelons this year were a big disappointment. So I left this one here. Now see here, this one didn't even make it that far. I left this one to show. You can see right here the tendril that's next to the watermelon. You can see the tendril that's next to the watermelon right here is brown. That indicates that the watermelon is ready to pick. If the stem also gets brown, then it means it's overripe. So that's how you know when to pick the watermelon. So this is ready to be picked. This is a watermelon, and it's not very impressive. This is one of my bigger watermelons, although I have one other one that I picked yesterday. The one that I picked yesterday, the stem had also turned brown, which means it's probably going to be overripe. This is the cantaloupe, or this is the watermelon that I just picked, where the tendril was dry, but the stem was still green. And we'll cut it open. Looks pretty good. There's not a lot there to eat, but it does look ripe. It smells good too. It smells like a very sweet watermelon. It has a lot of seeds here for its size, but it smells like a very sweet watermelon. This watermelon, the stem had just turned brown, and so I was a little afraid that maybe it had over ripened. So let's see. Yeah, you can see that here the inside is dried out here and it's a little rubbery. This is a little bit of an off color, not so red. The texture is not nearly as good here. So sure enough, this watermelon was overripe. The stem had already dried up and the watermelon was overripe. I can show you the difference here. You see, this still has moisture, it's still firm and wet. This is all dried out and kind of webby or gummy. It's pretty sad when you have to eat your melons with a spoon instead of cutting them up. But let's test it. A lot of seeds in each little watermelon. That is sweet. Of course, there's not much there to eat, but it was sweet. This is just so dried out, I don't think I'm going to try. All in all, my watermelon and cantaloupes were not impressive. I don't think I'm going to spend the time and energy and water to try them again. They just weren't worth it, especially for what I can buy them in the store. Have a wonderful day.